In 2009, Sri Lanka's 30-year civil war came to an end. For the northern city of Jaffna, the silence that followed brought a promise that the region could finally rebuild, leaving behind decades of violence and the rigid social divisions of the past. Massive post-war reconstruction projects soon followed. Today, bustling commercial centers and a modern railway connect Jaffna to the rest of the island, creating the appearance of a society where old social hierarchies have finally faded. But looking past the new storefronts down to the street level reveals a different reality. Grueling, hazardous human labor still keeps this modernized city running. This chart breaks down exactly who is doing that work. 90% of Jaffna's municipal sanitation workforce belongs to the Sakalier community, the same marginalized group forced to perform waste-clearing duties centuries ago during the colonial era. Despite universal free education and the end of the war, Jaffna's poorest citizens remain locked into the precise physical labor their ancestors were condemned to. This continuity started at the top. The Vellalar caste, Jaffna's historic land-owning elite, maintained dominance by evolving their economic strategy for a new era. During the conflict, many from the upper castes migrated west. Today, those relatives send back massive amounts of foreign capital, diaspora remittances. This wealth allowed traditional elites to corner the market on urban real estate, private education, and corporate businesses. The marginalized Palar, Nalavar, and Sakuna communities faced a different reality. They emerged from the war entirely landless, with many still living in temporary displaced persons camps or small rural plots. Even when youth from these groups access free education, the cycle rarely breaks. In a private sector dominated by upper caste networks, hidden systemic discrimination continues to block their path to white-collar employment. Without inherited land, starting capital, or wealthy overseas connections, the marginalized population entered Jaffna's modern economy in a state of total paralysis. To fill the economic vacuum, private microfinance companies flooded the region. They marketed quick loans to vulnerable, landless women under the guise of empowerment, often pushing them into signing predatory financial contracts. While standard banks offer manageable rates, microfinance fees spike up to 220%. This creates a tightening cycle. Families take out second high-interest loans just to pay off the first. The human cost is staggering. Collectors use harassment and public humiliation to extract payments, a pressure that drove more than 200 marginalized women in the region to suicide between 2019 and 2022. Survival requires immediate daily cash to appease these lenders. Desperate for any income, families return to the only work available, traditional, low-paying caste labor, like the toddy tapping seen here. The debt spiral effectively weaponizes modern capitalism to enforce the ancient social hierarchy, a process researchers call strengthening by stealth. Post-war Jaffna reveals that the caste system operates as a functional instrument of economic class exploitation. Modernity rebranded the old rules, replacing rigid colonial laws with the fine print of microloans and the insecurity of daily wage labor. But marginalized workers are refusing to remain victims. They are organizing their own grassroots resistance by forming independent producer cooperatives. Organizations like the Palmyra and sanitation worker unions allow laborers to bypass upper caste middlemen, securing fair wages and collective protection in local markets. Glass storefronts and paved roads provide the facade of progress, but real change requires dismantling the financial traps of the old hierarchy. That starts with land distribution and sweeping debt relief. Only by attacking the economic roots of this inequality can marginalized communities choose their own futures, rather than remaining chained to their history.